Hello, and I'd like to welcome you all once again to the old schoolhouse here in the village of Butterstone in Perthshire in Scotland for this, our 34th Wee Live concert. The numbers just keep going up, don't they? 34th Wee Live concert. And it's been incredibly hot the last couple of days outside and been brilliant. For those of you who've just joined us, I'll explain just very briefly about where we are. This is actually the old village school in the village of Butterstone. Butterstone's a wee kind of hamlet, 10 houses, and this is where I grew up, and this was the wee one-roomed village school with the one teacher and all the kids of the one age, of the different ages, all kind of in the one room. And it's where I had my first bit of education, and my father went to school here in the 1930s. And luckily I was able to buy it a number of years ago. It lay empty. It was closed in the 60s, and then it lay empty for a few years, and then I was lucky to buy this in the wee teacher's house. So this is where we have our recording studio. I made all my records here over the last 40 odd years. So it's great to be doing these broadcasts from here. And like I said, it's been incredibly hot outside. But it's been brilliant. And in Scotland here, they've relaxed the kind of lockdown thing a little bit. So yesterday I was able to see my grandsons for the first time for 2.5 months, which was brilliant. And I even managed to get down and saw my mother today. And it's her 85th birthday today, which I'll talk a wee bit later on about. But anyway, we were able to go down and visit her, and she's been in the house for 2.5 months. So it's been lovely, and we can all sit in the garden. So I'm going to do this wee song, and this was a song I got a lot of requests for in Series 1. We're calling the first 1 to 30 Series 1, which where I didn't repeat myself. And I got a lot of requests for this, but honestly, I didn't do the song because I couldn't remember the guitar part. For the life of me, I could not remember it. And then today, for some bizarre reason, I woke up and I was just sitting with my guitar, and all of a sudden the part came back to me. So it's a traditional song, and it was the very first track on the very first record that I made in my own independent record label all those years ago, and I haven't sung it since then either. So we'll try it now and see how we go on. After all that introduction, I'll probably forget the guitar part. It's called Ginna Were a Barn's Heir. Just translated into English, it's just If I Was a Barn's Heir. It's kind of a love song. We'll try it. Can I wear a baron's heir, and could I braid with gems your hair, and make ye braw as ye are fair? Lassie, would you loo me? And I would take you to the tune and show you braw 6 money and name, and busk away your silken goon. Lassie, would you loo me? Or should you prove content to prove in lowly life and fading love a heart that not on earth could move? Lassie, would you loo me? And ere the lavrock wings the sky, say, would you take the forest high and work with me, say merrily? Lassie, would you loo? And when the broad moon glistens o'er our wee bit pale and heathery moor. We ne'er greet that we're sae poor, lassie, for a loo, yeah. For I hae naught to offer ye, nae goud frae mine, nae pearl frae sea, nor am I come o high degree, lassie, would you loo me? Oh, and can I wear a baron's air, and could I braid the gems your hair, and make you broad as ye are fair, lassie, would you loo me? Thank you very much. And that's a trad song. Gin I Wear a Baron's Air, which I haven't sung for 30 years. And but it was miraculously the wee guitar part that I made all those years ago came back to me in a dream. It's very, very strange. Anyway, I'm going to do this wee song, and like I said, it's my mum's 85th birthday today. And this is a wee song. I'm just going to change guitars here. Oh no, I'm not going to change guitars. I'm going to keep this guitar actually. This is a wee song I wrote for her, and I have to tell you, and I did this a month ago maybe in series 1, but and I told the story then, but I'll tell it again because there'll be new people watching. And my mum and dad grew up in Argyllshire, which is on the west coast, just outside Oban, near Tynalt, a wee place called Cochrenan, and they knew each other when they were young. And my mum was the youngest of 9 children, and she stayed at home and kind of looked after her brothers. And her mum died when she was 14. And so she was kind of looking after the brothers. And then eventually one day, my grandfather, he just couldn't afford to keep her there just to look after them. And so she, having grown up in this real rural area, place, she moved down to Glasgow, where one of our sisters was working in a tea factory. And so she moved down to Glasgow to work in the tea factory. And I just can't imagine how what a shock to the system that must have been for them, for her. And like lots of girls from that part of the country, where they were trying to find work, they went down into the city to work in these terrible factories. Anyway, my father, believe it or not, he was a bit older than her, and so my mother ended up getting engaged to a sailor. And my father got wind of this, and so he ended up in an old Austin 7 car with no windscreen in the middle of the winter, driving down from, this is the story I've been told anyway, maybe it's been romanticised, but down to Glasgow to stop her marrying the sailor and take her up to Perthshire, where we are here. Anyway, so my mum's watching this, so she'll keep me right if I've got the story wrong. Anyway, and so I'm hopefully going to do a couple of wee slides in the middle of this. So we'll just see what happens and just give you a wee insight. So this is for Mum's birthday. She's in great shape, actually. You should see her garden. I mean, she's me to shame. They came down from the merchant city. Oh, I should tell you, the song's called Dolina, which is my mother's name. And it's a lovely name, Dolina. They came down to the merchant city, where the privileged lie and poverty kills. Came a long road of pain and pity. Oh, where's the sense for a Highland girl? The leaner like a little child, the leaner with these dreams to fill, the leaner he'll run and wild. Where's the sense for a Highland girl? The factory's hard, it takes more and more. It's no exchange for the curlew's song, or the buzzard's cry as it soars and soars, and your family's arms when it all feels wrong. The leaner like a little child, the leaner with these dreams to fill, the leaner he'll run and wild. Oh, where's the sense for a Highland girl? She could have met a fine young soldier, she could have taken the rich man's hand, she could have let the devil hold her, she could have left for some distant land. But she came down to a garden valley to tend the earth with the countryman. They never held more than they could carry, and the children grew to understand. The leaner like a little child, the leaner with these dreams to fill, the leaner he'll run and wild. Where's the sense for a Highland girl? You can sing it with me for my mum's birthday. The leaner like a little child, the leaner with these dreams to fill, the leaner he'll run and wild. Oh, where's the sense for a Highland girl? Where's the sense for a Highland girl? Where's the sense for a Highland girl? Thank you very much, and that's my wee song for my mother's 85th birthday today, and down in Dunkeld she will be watching, and it's called Delena, and that's her name. And we actually have, I was down this afternoon and I thought, well, after all these really old black and white kind of faded real photographs, we need to put a wee shot up of the birthday girl herself. So we'll try and see if we can do that. This was this afternoon in our garden, and yeah, so she'll be totally embarrassed about all this, but that's part of being 85 and getting this far and getting through to this stage of the lockdown in cheery kind of form. This is the point. Oh no, I was going to show you something else actually. You might have noticed. You might have noticed at the very beginning, you might not have noticed it, but there's a wee shot of Mum playing the melodeon. And my mother plays a beautiful melodeon. That's a little square accordion. And in fact, she taught me to play when I was wee. And that was how and actually, we still have the melodeon. I'm going to show it to you. We have the wee melodeon. I still knock the odd tune out of it. And it's a brilliant old Horner melodeon. And my mother plays beautiful Gaelic waltzes on that on this. And I'll hold it up there. Maybe you can just get a wee view on that camera from the... But this was my first musical instrument, apart from the mouth organ, playing wee Gaelic waltzes on this wee beautiful wee Horner, which is in that picture. So we're going to do this now. I'm going to confuse myself with the guitars. No, here we are. So this is the point in the wee live concert where I get you to sing, and. It seems to me, and I think, one of the things, and particularly in these kind of troubled times and hard times, is you one thing you mustn't, you must. You can make lots of mistakes. I think if you go through life, if you're going through life, you make lots of mistakes, and you can make lots of mistakes, and you can fall down, and you make these lots of mistakes, and you fall down, you pick yourself up again, and you fall down. The one thing you mustn't do is kind of lie down and give up, and that's what this wee song's about. And the chorus is, "You can fall, but you must not lie down. You can fall, but you must not lie down. I know you're lost in the deep of the fiddle's sweet sound. You can fall, but you must not lie down." And we'll see how we got on with this wee chorus. And the tatty faces are all geared up. I don't know if you can still see Duncan down there in the corner, but he has refused to take the bee suit off since a couple of days since the last broadcast. He's just taken a liking to my bee suit after I'm helping me with the bees. And, but we're going to get some backing vocals from them, and maybe a wee hot lick or two from Mr. Typeface. Oh yeah, and this is a place where in the band, this is where the fiddle player would normally play a wee kind of riff, and I don't have the fiddle player here with me tonight, so I'll teach you guys the wee riff, the wee fiddle riff, so that you can we can have fiddle riffs playing all over the planet. And it goes like this. The wee riff goes like this. Da 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 That's the fiddle riff. I think we'll do it again and we'll have it nailed. Right, here we go. Da 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 da. Speak your mind, she said. There are words best left alone. Try to be kind, she said. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it down one because it's too high. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Speak your mind, she said. There are words best left alone. Try to be kind, she said. there's no grace in doing wrong. And when you're standing on your highest hill and you shout but no one hears, you can fall, but you must not lie down. You can fall, but you must not lie down. I know you're lost in the deep of the fiddle's sweet sound. Oh, you can fall, but you must not lie down. That's the chorus, which we'll do again. You can fall, but you must not lie down. You can fall, but you must not lie down. I know you're lost in the deep of the fiddle's sweet sound. Oh, you can fall, but you must not lie down. Pull in your tired wings. Oh, there's no need to know it all. Listen how the silence sings. Now's the time for standing tall. And when you're standing on your highest hill and you shout but no one hears, make a bit of noise. You can fall, but you must not lie down. You can fall, but you must not lie down. I know you're lost in the deep of the fiddle's sweet sound. Oh, you can fall, but you must not lie down. Fiddle riff. Da 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 da. Solo from Mr. Potato, Mr. Tight Face. Nice notes. And dream on, little one. There are flowers in your hair. See what the time has done. It's scattered diamonds everywhere. And when you're standing on your highest hill and you shout but no one hears, you can fall, but you must not lie down. You can fall, but you must not lie down. I know you're lost in the deep of the fiddle's sweet sound. Oh, you can fall, but you must not lie down. So we sing it on your own. Oh, you can fall. Beautiful. Sounding great. We'll do one more time. You can fall, but you must not lie down. You can fall, but you must not lie down. I know you're lost in the deep of the fiddle sweet sound. Oh, you can fall, but you must not lie down. Little bit. Da 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 da. Thank you very much, and that was Not Lie Down, and that was sounding brilliantly. It was sounding really. I could hear it. I'm getting the vibe. I get a vibe now when I hear people, when I know people are singing out there in the ether, and it was great. And didn't the Tatty Faces do well? You know, and isn't I mean, he's just so good, Mr. Tatty Face. Actually, so we'll do one more wee song, and this is another one of these are all kind of requests, so I'm going through the series 2 is full of kind of like requests of wee things that people have put up on the Facebook page, and yeah, try and do that. If you're watching from some exotic place, leave us a wee message, you know, and you can even get slap a wee photograph in of where you're watching from, and that would, because it's great and it keeps us going. There's just me and Jen here in the schoolhouse, and just before the whole lockdown thing, my very clever son invented an automated camera system for me that allows us to have 2 or 3 different camera angles. So it's great. This is a song which came from something that we were in America, a whole bunch of us doing a tour for Thistle and Shamrock radio program, and we had rented one of these tour buses. There was about 14 of us traveling, but it was I think it must have been the oldest tour. It was the cheapest tour bus you could rent from Nashville, and it was an old beat up tour bus, and about 3 or 4 days in, we couldn't use the back lounge because the exhaust fumes from the engine were filling it up with exhaust fumes. So we had 2 or 3 days off. So can't remember his name now. Fred, I think. Tommy was his name, the driver, and he said he'd take it back to the garage and get it fixed in Nashville. And we were away out about 1,000 miles away, and he was going to take a couple of days to do it. And I said, "Look, Tommy, don't leave us here. Then we're Scottish people. We're stuck in the middle of America in this hotel. Don't abandon us." And he says, "Don't worry," he says, "you know, if the spirit's willing and the creeks don't rise," he says, "I'll be back to get you." And I thought that was a great line, so I incorporated it into this song. we're held in the motion as it moves us along, never knowing just where it might lead. And from mountain to ocean we try to be strong, for we bend to the ultimate need of the hopes and the fears of the yet to be born, determined we nourish their seed. And if the spirit is willing and the rivers don't rise, and the light doesn't disappear out of our eyes, and adventure stays with us, it's pain and surprise, we'll be together again. And if the line doesn't break and the rope doesn't break, and the venom stays asleep in the tooth of the snake, and we don't hold against us the mistakes that we make, oh, we'll be together again. We'll be together. Oblivious love when it's clear and it's young, well, it waits for a chance to shine through. Oh, and brother and sister, from one we have come, oh, we wait for the chance to renew. But the dreams and the schemes of these innocent years shine from the place that we grew. And if the spirit is willing and the rivers don't rise, and the light doesn't disappear out of our eyes, and adventure stays with us, it's pain and surprise, we'll be together again. And if the line takes the strain, the rope doesn't break, and the venom stays asleep in the tooth of the snake, and we don't hold against us the mistakes that we make, oh, we'll be together again. We'll be together again. Doesn't disappear out of our eyes, and adventure stays with us, it's pain and surprise, we'll be together again. And if the line takes the strain, the rope doesn't break, and the venom stays asleep in the tooth of the snake, and we don't hold against us mistakes that we make, oh, we'll be together again. And if the spirit is willing and the rivers don't rise, and the light doesn't disappear out of our eyes, and adventure stays with us, it's pain and surprise, we'll be together again. If the line takes the strain, the rope doesn't break, and the venom stays asleep in the tooth of the snake, and we don't hold against us the mistakes that we make, oh, we'll be together again. Oh, we'll be together again. Oh, we'll be together again. Thank you very much. And that's my wee song, inspired by Tommy's wee line. If the rivers, if the spirit's willing and the creeks don't rise. And that brings us to the end of another our wee Saturday night half an hour. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. We're going to do one more wee thing. We're just going to play a wee quick fiddle tune, just for Jen's going to kind of press the buttons and then come up and play a wee vamp a bit on piano. And we thought we'd just leave you as it's a Saturday night, just with a wee tune to kind of finish off. And so I'll just get my fiddle. So this we'll just see. We'll see how this could be a reverb on. Okay. So I'll start. And the tune's called The Burning of Peasy's Nap. It's one of my own tunes, and it was from a thing that I did for a theatre production years ago, and hopefully I'll remember it. But, so here we go. Well done, Jen. Big applause for Jenny. And thank you very much for tuning in tonight. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Hope you enjoyed the burning of Peasy's nap. Peasy wasn't very happy about it, I don't think, but Peasy's... Sorry, that was not necessary. Anyway, so this is the point of the evening where I for the last 34 nights I've been just taking a second to thank all the amazing people, all the NHS people, all the carers, all the people that have been out in it's starting to ease off a little bit now, but there was points there maybe a month ago, where it was all very critical, and so. I really thank you very much for keeping the wheels of our lives in motion and allowing us to get through to this point. Now, if we're all very careful now, over the next month maybe, we'll be able to kind of keep the the lid on this thing, which but it relies on us all being very, very careful, and so we all have to look after each other even more. And but I hope you're all staying cheery. That's the main thing, and have a wee bit of a laugh, and this is the point where I get to have a mouthful of. Nigel's wonderful 1985 port, which he has been supplying me with for the last 2.5 months. So you all take care. Hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy the sunshine in Scotland anyway. It's brilliant. And I'll see you on Wednesday. So we're doing them twice a week now. So I'll see you on Wednesday night. Aikava, and be good to each other. And bye-bye.